I mean, great way to start the evening. Great evening, Sharon. How are you?
Great evening, Tasha. How are you?
Your turn to start us off with the laugh this evening. I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Listen, let's jump into it tonight. My mind is playing tricks on me.
Yeah.
This one hit close. This one hits close to me, but I love how if you guys get our emails and you see or I see our posts and we talk about it, I'm generally the one who creates. Tasha kind of writes. Tasha always goes back to a song, and so but it was perfect, right? It's classic. Ghetto Boys, my mind is playing tricks on me.
Yeah. And I'm always the one to be like, I ain't really into music like that. I'm not into music like you guys are. Like you and my husband are music heads, like really know all the songs. There are just certain things, that remind me of music. Listen, our audience is pouring in. Good evening. Good evening. Come on in. Hi, Gail. Hi, Yvonne. How are you?
Hi, ladies. How are you? All right, so let's just jump into my mind.
I want to know if they know the song.
No.
No, we're not going into that. I mean, like, when you write something, that's why I had to kind of put the music in those because they were like, what's she talking about? Right?
Yeah.
Oh. We should put some audio tracks in. So as we're coming in, we can. No? Oh, okay.
All right, Tasha.
We need a producer.
No. We have one. All right, let's get into this. All right, my mind is playing tricks on me.
Good evening, Evangeline.
Hi, Gangsta E. How are you? We'll be seeing you soon. All right. So this is a great topic, right? Because my pastor's always said the battle is won and lost in your head.
Yeah.
That he's got some jewels, and that's one of them. And it's when you got those thoughts, when you have that the red devil, I guess, and the angel, and one is saying do it, one is saying don't do it, one is fear. You know what I mean? One is other people's it's one is intuition, right?
Right.
So how do you handle when you get the voices in your head?
The voices in my head.
I know you heard how I said it too. I was like, oh, I sound real North Carolina for a minute there. I'm not from Jersey.
I was saying this earlier, you try so hard, talk about that battlefield, right? To try and nourish it with the right things, right? So that you are, you start your day out with prayer, right? I'm in this space of gratitude. It's going to be a wonderful day, right? Because you're just setting the platform. But then there are these intruders, right? And I think I try and deal with them by overcoming them with the good, right? So there's a story about a wolf. Don't make me tell it, but it's like, whatever one you feed is the one that gets stronger, right? And so, you feed the good things in your life to help overcome the negative thoughts.
So wait, I just have to do. I just have to.
Ron, I'm super tired today. Don't call me out. It's been a super long week, and
you have to wait and hear what I'm about to say. What I was about to say is I have to give you a heck of a compliment because you got your shoulders up, and I see you've been working out. I see it. Yes. Okay. Listen, don't have me come up here in a t-shirt next week trying to show my shoulders. Okay. Have me up here in a wife beater next week to say I work out with you. But
thank you very much.
You look beautiful. All right. So, so for me, how I certainly, the thoughts, right? I can be an overthinker, an overanalyzer. And I want to hear from everybody, who's watching, like, how do you deal with the thoughts? Okay. So we had some frozenness. Yeah, I saw that too. But okay, it stopped. So I overthink. I can overthink things, and I can get down into the minutia, which isn't healthy because it doesn't mean that because you're overthinking something that it's better, or you're right, or you even have the right train of thought, or you even have all the information. I'm always skeptical. Well, I always try to remind myself I don't know everything. I don't have all the details. right? When sometimes, you can have a conversation, oh, that person did that, but they did that because of that. You don't know. You don't know.
I probably should remind myself of that sometimes, huh?
I think for me, one of the biggest kind of changes for me is having a career in television and being a television producer.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so I could see how people can come to the same thing. First of all, I can create a whole message and it looked like you said it, but you didn't really say it.
Right.
Because the truth is always in what wasn't in what wasn't said.
Right.
And so I may not, and I always start from the starting point. Maybe I don't know everything.
So you're part of the culprit of the tricks that are being played in people's minds.
No, that's the first way I try to deal with the tricks.
Yeah.
But let's just get into something. And I want to hear from people. How are ways that you all deal with the thoughts in your head, particularly the negative thoughts?
Yeah.
Right. The ones that say you can't do it, you won't do it, you're not good enough. But in the meantime,
you don't need to get up this morning.
Yes, I don't want to work out this morning.
Yeah.
So let's go into some of the tips that we have, right? First of all, let's identify the intruder.
I mean, I think we're going to use the working out in the morning as a good example because, you can talk yourself out of it so quickly, right? You're like, I worked out yesterday and my back hurt a little bit, or, my side hurt, or I feel, so I had a good workout, so I don't need to work out again today. Right.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, that's not true. Right.
Listen,
that's an intruder.
Let me say this. And because we had this happen, it's either this week or last week when we had to work out and you called me. It was this week?
It was.
Was it this week?
It was. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't think today's the day to work out. And you said, no, we need to get up. So, I mean, I was thankful to have you to sit here and challenge me because I'm not the best fighter against the intruder when I'm half asleep. I'm not. I'm giving in, right?
Right.
And so you came at me and you're like, no, we need to get up. But we need to get up. We need to do it. We need to do it. And I'm like, all right, fine. And it was a great workout.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but you can apply that to every area of your life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, things happen all the time. I mean, we are lucky to have each other to be that voice of reason to help us analyze the situation a little easier. But sometimes, what you have to encourage yourself, right?
Well, I mean, and I would just take it just at the very base of it. What's actually talking to you?
Yeah.
Right. Identify the intruder. Is it truly fear? Is that what it is? You have to analyze the thought. Where is this stemming from? Is it something that maybe a family member said to me that's making me think this way? Does that family member's words have real weight? What have they done in their life that I should actually listen to what they have to say? Right? Maybe it's your partner who's maybe not terribly supportive, right? And so you believe what your partner says about you, but maybe it's just not true. So you got to get to the bottom. So we have Gail says it depends on what the issue is.
I think generally,
hold on. Yvonne said you noticed the arms.
Thank you. Like, is it in line with who you are or who you want to show up as? Right. And so I don't know if it depends on what the issue is. It's probably apricot in Tasha's house. What? Don't act like you know me, girl. On. What does that have to do with the conversation? I am not going to receive those negative thoughts. That's an intruder, right? Trying to deter my conversation tonight.
It might be hot if you got on a little tank top.
I had on a suit today and I just chose not to wear the entire jacket.
I see. I hear you.
And so,
but I mean, it may depend on the issue. Because it may be in an area that you're not as secure in, right? So I think in areas that you are secure in, maybe the thoughts can be overcome a lot easier. If it's an area in life that you're not as secure in, right? You may not.
Negative thoughts vary. It could be medical, exercise, work related. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And depending on the scenario, who else is in the scenario that's creating the situation?
Yeah.
Do they have power over you? Do they control your paycheck? Right? These are all kinds of things. All right. Tip number 2. Feelings aren't facts if you don't talk about it. Okay?
What are your favorite things to say?
Feelings ain't facts. Shut up with that stuff.
Man, it's so hard. I have so many feelings. And I want to be like, no, this is it. The way I feel matters. And this is the truth, right?
And it ain't.
Not. That's really hard to deal with for me sometimes. I'm just gonna be honest because my feelings are strong. And I think this is where my 4-year-old gets it from. He's got super big, strong feelings right now in his life. And yeah, now that I think about it,
they seem very real, but they aren't facts.
Very real to him, but they are not facts. And so this is something that I'm working on. I guess this whole conversation, right? Identifying this intruder and understanding that feelings aren't facts.
You're working through it as we're talking about it. Wait, so Gail says negative thoughts vary. It could be
we already read that. Yeah.
So no, but it's true. Like being in a situation where someone says, well, this is how I felt. I mean, to a point, you are entitled to feelings. You are absolutely entitled to your feelings. And I have a good friend, her girls play soccer, and she was having this thing, and she's like, well, that's how I felt. But okay, like maybe your kids are great, right? Because maybe the kids weren't getting all the time that she thought. But can we hold out that maybe they're just not that good? You know what I mean? Now, I don't know. And I'm not suggesting that, right? I'm not putting that on her kids. I'm just saying, like, we got to hold space for maybe they're not as good as you think they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just because you feel that they're great, is it okay that someone else doesn't? I hope she never watches this because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Woo. All right. Tip number 3, adjust your perspective.
I think this is where you have been helpful in my life because you do have a completely different perspective on a lot of things that I personally deal with. And so it helps me adjust my perspective. And because I trust you, right? And and honor your opinion, it does help me adjust my perspective. And so I suggest to anyone, right, those people that are in the front row of your life, as you say, who you trust and sort of respect their opinion, that we be open and honest and transparent about our feelings so that you can adjust your perspective. Because when you look at things a different way, we talk about this all the time, right? It's all about perspective. When you look at something a different way, then the situation is different.
Yeah. I always give an example, Danae. Many years ago, I was out having a ball in DC. Okay. I had a date who was waiting, and I kept putting that date off and off and off because I'm just having a good time. And not a care in the world. And then when I was supposed to get with my date, it's many hours later, he had left or gone to sleep or whatever. And I was just insulted. How dare he? Oh, honey, I read him for filth. For filth, how dare you? And then I talked to Danae. I said,
want her to get on your bandwagon.
Oh, man. I was like, Danae, can you believe this? I sat there and I came and he was asleep. And he didn't even answer the door. She said, so let me get this straight. You was out having a good time. You said you was going to come. You didn't come. He called you. You said you was on your way. You weren't. You said you was going to come. Yeah, like 3 times. And he says, no, you're a jerk. You're a jerk.
There's a song in his head.
Yeah, so the voice in my head just got whooped. And I had to turn around and I was like, because let me tell you, that was a life-changing moment. That was another life-changing moment for me because I got souped off the voice in my head. The voice in my head got me amped. Okay. The voice in my head had me going off, and I had all the neck turns and the ups and the downs, and no, you didn't, and I had all of that. And then my very dear, good, intelligent, bright, beautiful friend said, "You were a jerk." And I said, and so I had to eat all of that energy. I had to go apologize.
And listen, a lens. It was just a different lens, right?
And it was listening to the head.
Right.
The intruder was my ego. Right? Let's just talk about it. The intruder was my ego. My feelings were not facts because the facts showed something very, very different. And then someone properly put me in my place, and I had to get my adjusted.
Evangeline says the arms are out. The way you feel does matter to you. That's very true. We're not saying that the feelings don't matter.
No, right. Your feelings matter.
They are not always the facts of
right. You are entitled to your feelings.
Yeah.
Feel them deeply. It don't mean it's true.
Right.
Yeah. And so
I mean, like my kids will say something like, when, mommy, you never let us do whatever. Come on, dude. Never. That's not the facts, right? But that's the way you feel in this moment. You're entitled to feel like that because I'm not letting you do it right now, but that's not what the facts are.
First of all, you just use your 5-year-old as an example.
Did you want me to use
your 5-year-old?
Did you want me to use? I mean, because I was talking about how our feelings are, sort of similar right now. Sometimes I feel like
a 5-year-old doesn't have the evolved.
Here's another example. When. This is me to my husband. You never do this for me, right? As an adult, I could say the same thing and have that same sort of feeling.
I think it just might work better in this audience. Okay, use that example.
We have parents in this audience. They understand what I'm saying. Okay, so you have to talk it out. Of course, this is what the whole conversation is about, right? You talk it out. You adjust your perspective by talking it out sometimes, right?
Yeah. Which is great to have an accountability partner.
Yeah.
Right? Because in my example, I had hold me accountable.
Yeah.
And there ain't too many people who can call me a jerk, and I'm going to say she didn't use that word. I'm saying I'm using that for this platform. She did not call me a jerk. She took it up a couple notches. And it hit me right here on the chin.
It hard, right?
It hit hard.
Yeah.
But she could, right? To your point, I trusted her, and I know she has my best interest, and she wants me to be the best person that I can be. But boy, that landed right there. So it's important to have maybe an accountability partner or a friend that you can sit there and have that conversation with.
Yeah. Sure. Listen, I mean, the whole thing is your mind does play tricks on you sometimes, right? Don't always just, fall for your feelings.
No.
Or listen to that negative voice in your head, because you can change the narrative. You got the power to do that.
Absolutely. Sorry. So the 3 tips as a reminder. Number 1, identify, recognize where the source is. Yep. Right. And can we just say, like, sometimes there are people who are naysayers in your life for their own issues, and it's got nothing to do with you. You can't let that information in, right? You can have doubts, but doesn't mean you shouldn't do stuff because you have doubts. Still doesn't mean you shouldn't try things because you have fears. Matter of fact, amazing things happen when you try things in spite of your fears.
That's right. Feelings aren't facts. You should definitely honor your feelings, feel your feelings, but don't let that be the only thing that's driving your decisions.
That's right.
And your actions. Yeah.
Because it's not. And number 3, adjust your perspective. Be open to that there's a different way to look at the situation. Be open to the idea that maybe what you think isn't the whole story, right? There's maybe room for someone else to be coming. Like, can I just give a prime example? Someone might say, gosh, every time we go out, you're late. This may not be a good one because you and I both like being on time. But right? Or every time I say something, okay, every time I say something, you got to say something like this. You always trying to check me. You always checking me, right? Why every time I talk, you got to check me? Wait, I thought and the other person say, hey, I thought we enjoyed engaging in conversation. I thought we enjoyed challenging each other because we come up with new ideas when we talk. I thought it was iron sharpening iron. I was not doing this to check you. I was doing this. I thought we were growing in the process, right? Perspective. The same things are happening. Right. The glasses can be half full or half empty. Both are true, but it's what you focus on.
That's right. That's true.
All right.
Listen, good talking with you. I got to give a big shout out. Gangsta E is celebrating a birthday tomorrow. And so I want to be the first to tell you happy birthday. I
want to be the second. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Oh, we'll have to do something to celebrate when we see her soon.
We absolutely will, dear.
I think we have to. Absolutely. All right. Now, we are the AQ partners, right? And if you learn more about what we do, we're these two brown girls who come up here every week and we talk about accountability and how we can move our life in different directions. Yeah, listen, check out our class, Change the Game, right? You can go to bit.ly/AQ class. It's for a nominal fee. It's an accountability course that you can take on your own time.
Support your girls.
Yes. But you can learn what we're doing, what we're talking about, and how we've been able to achieve some of the things that we've been able to comfortably with the support of an accountability partner, right? And as always, you can follow us at The Accountability Queens on Facebook, on Instagram, accountability_queens. Why can't I say it, right? And you can always go to our website, accountability.com.
Thanks so much for engaging with us tonight.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining us. Join us next week and see what we talk about then.
I like it.
Maybe Tasha have some clothes on or something.
I'm wearing a sweater next week.
Bye, Tasha.